The roar of motorcycles echoed through the small town as a group of leather-clad bikers pulled into the parking lot of a roadside diner. Engines growled, chrome gleamed, and every passerby turned to stare. These men looked like the kind of people you didn't want to mess with, tattoos covering their arms, chains glinting under the sun, and eyes hardened by life. But on that warm summer afternoon, something happened that not only shattered the image people had of them, but changed an entire community forever. Before we dive deeper into this powerful emotional story, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of good hearts hidden behind rough appearances, please take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to our channel for more stories that touch the soul. It all started when the leader of the biker group, a man named Rex, pulled up his Harley outside the diner. The other riders followed him, parking their bikes in a line that looked almost like a display of power. Inside the diner, the usual customers froze, mothers pulling their children close, the waiter pretending to clean tables but keeping an anxious eye on the gang. They weren't troublemakers, but their reputation made people uncomfortable. These were men who lived on the edge, who looked like danger itself. As the bikers ordered their coffee and sat at the counter, a small boy, no older than 6, suddenly appeared outside, crying. His face was red and streaked with tears, a small cut bleeding on his cheek. He looked terrified, scanning the street like he was searching for someone. Rex, noticing the boy through the glass, frowned. Something about the child's trembling hands and desperate sobs pulled at him. He pushed open the diner door, his heavy boots thudding against the pavement, and knelt down. "Hey, little man, you okay?" he asked gently. His rough voice softened, but before he could say another word, the boy lunged forward, clutching the front of Rex's black leather vest with tiny fists, his voice trembling between sobs as he cried, "He hurt my sister!" The street went silent. Everyone froze. The bikers, the people inside the diner, even the man standing near the door in a plaid shirt who had come out to see what the commotion was. Rex looked down at the boy, his heart suddenly tightening. The child's words were raw, full of pain and fear. "Who hurt your sister?" he asked, his voice low and steady. The boy pointed back toward the diner. The man in the plaid shirt, still standing in the doorway, went pale. The bikers exchanged glances, realizing the boy's trembling hand was directed straight at him. That man, it turned out, was the diner owner, a man known around town as Carl, quiet but short-tempered, the kind who smiled at customers but had a mean streak behind closed doors. Rex didn't rush to judgment. He simply placed a hand on the boy's shoulder and said, "Tell me what happened." The boy sniffled and tried to explain between sobs. He said that he and his sister had been playing behind the diner when Carl found them near his trash bins. The sister, around 8 years old, had accidentally dropped a soda can that spilled over the ground. Angry, Carl had grabbed her arm so hard it left bruises and shouted at her. When the boy tried to defend her, Carl pushed him to the ground, cutting his cheek on the pavement. The child's voice shook as he spoke, but every word was heavy with truth. Rex looked up slowly, his jaw tightening. The other bikers had gathered around, listening in silence. These were men who had seen enough cruelty in life to recognize it when it stared them in the face. Carl stammered, "Hey, now, it wasn't like that." The kids were trespassing, but his voice faltered under Rex's cold, unwavering stare. Without saying a word, Rex stood up. The rest of the bikers fell into step behind him like shadows rising. Carl stepped back, his confidence draining. He expected a fight. Everyone watching did. The people inside the diner held their breath, thinking violence was about to erupt. But Rex didn't throw a punch. Instead, he turned to the boy and said softly, "Where's your sister now?" The boy pointed toward the alley behind the diner. Rex nodded to 2 of his men, who immediately walked over. Moments later, they returned, one carrying a frightened little girl in his arms. She had bruises on her small arm, just like her brother said. Rex's eyes softened, but something inside him burned with anger. Not the kind that destroys, but the kind that protects. He took off his leather vest, the one with the biker insignia, a symbol feared by many, and gently draped it over the girl's shoulders. "No one's going to hurt you again," he said. The crowd that had gathered outside was silent, watching this rough-looking man treat the children with such unexpected tenderness. Carl, still at the door, muttered something under his breath, but before he could retreat, Rex walked over to him. Standing just inches away, he said in a low, steady tone, "You lay another finger on any child, and I promise, the law will know, and so will we." He didn't threaten violence, he promised accountability, and there was something in his voice that made Carl tremble more than any threat could have. The police arrived soon after. Someone from inside the diner had called them. When the officers saw the scene, the bruises and the trembling children, it didn't take long for them to understand what had happened. Carl was taken aside for questioning, and the children were comforted by paramedics. Rex and his crew stayed nearby, making sure the kids were safe. When everything settled, the officer who took their statements approached Rex. "You know, people talk about your group," he said quietly, "but what you did today, it's going to change how folks see you." Rex just gave a faint smile and replied, "We're not looking for anyone's approval, we just look out for those who can't fight." That evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Rex and his riders gathered around the two children. They gave the boy a small patch, a symbol of courage, the same one every biker in their brotherhood wore on their vest. "You stood up for your sister," Rex said. "That makes you one of the bravest people we've met." The boy, still teary-eyed, smiled for the first time that day. When the bikers finally rode off into the distance, the townspeople watched in silence. For the first time, they didn't see outlaws or rebels, they saw protectors. The roar of the engines no longer sounded like trouble, it sounded like hope. A few days later, word spread across the town. The story of the crying boy, the sister, and the bikers who defended them became a legend. The diner shut down, and the children were placed with a caring aunt who loved them dearly. Rex and his crew came by once every few weeks, bringing toys and treats, making sure they were safe and smiling again. The kids began to see them not as scary men on motorcycles, but as family, the ones who had stepped in when no one else did. Months later, during a charity ride for children's hospitals, Rex wore a new patch on his vest, a small handprint embroidered in blue representing the boy he had protected. It was his reminder that real strength wasn't about fists or fear, it was about heart, courage, and compassion. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you that kindness can come from the most unexpected places, please hit the like button, share this video, and subscribe for more real stories that remind us what humanity truly means. And before you go, tell us in the comments, do you believe everyone deserves a second chance, no matter their past? Because sometimes the roughest souls carry the kindest hearts.